President Joe Biden ordered airstrikes in Syria in a move that is no different than what you'd expect from Donald Trump. So I'm going to break down here what happened, the reactions, and also reactions including what Biden's own White House press secretary said about bombing Syria back when it was Trump doing it. First up here from NBC News, just on the top line. President Joe Biden on Thursday ordered airstrikes on buildings in Syria that the Pentagon said were used by Iranian-backed militias in retaliation for rocket attacks on U.S. targets in neighboring Iraq. The strikes killed at least 22 people, London-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said on Friday, citing unconfirmed local reports. Again, no different than what you'd expect under Donald Trump. The idea that it's in retaliation, why are there troops still in Iraq? Isn't that the story here? But no, they're already, when it comes to any mainstream outlet that is covering this story, they're going to always do it from a pro-U.S. military perspective. Even when it was Donald Trump doing it, you had people on MSNBC saying this is the right move for Donald Trump. So they're going to defend these moves regardless of whoever it is, because the people in charge, the people on television, are from the military-industrial complex, and that is the view that the mainstream press takes on. But clearly, how often do you have to see these sorts of strikes before you realize that this never actually leads to peace? So Common Dreams has a great breakdown here of the reaction to this. A Notre Dame law school professor is among the legal experts who condemned U.S. President Joe Biden's bombing of Syria Thursday as a clear violation of international law. Quote, the United Nations Charter makes absolutely clear that the use of military force on the territory of a foreign sovereign state is lawful only in response to an armed attack on the defending state for which the target state is responsible. Mary Ellen O'Connell, a research professor of international dispute resolution at the school's Kroc Institute for International Peace Studies, told the Associated Press, quote, none of those elements is met in the Syria strike. Now, I'm going to show you. Here you go. 2017, Jen Psaki, this is Biden's White House press secretary. In 2017, she tweeted out, also, what is the legal authority for strikes? Assad is a brutal dictator, but Syria is a sovereign country. Great point. Great point, Jen. Ilhan Omar also quote tweeted this, saying, great question. Everybody, every lawmaker should bring this up. Every journalist, maybe they're answering questions right now about this. Every journalist should be bringing this up to her. Now, of course, her response may be, I speak for the president, whatever. But obviously, anybody looking at this objectively with a clear head understands that you cannot keep doing the same shit every administration and expect a different result. It's absurd to keep acting like this. More reactions here. Khanna. We cannot stand up for congressional authorization before military strikes only when there is a Republican president. The administration should have sought congressional authorization here. We need to work to extricate from the Middle East, not escalate. Absolutely. Why wasn't there congressional authorization for this? Again, what Biden did here, no different than Donald Trump or really any other president before him. Bernie Sanders here tweeting out, I am very concerned by last night's strike by U.S. forces in Syria. The president has the responsibility to keep Americans safe, but for too long, administrations of both parties have interpreted their authorities in an extremely expansive way to continue war. This must end. Hillary Aggro here tweeting out, so how many $2,000 checks did those airstrikes cost? Pointing to the insanity here where they are prioritizing airstrikes over getting checks to people, over raising the minimum wage, over guaranteeing health care for all Americans. It's amazing how much money there is for war. Just whatever you want to do when it comes to strikes, bombing, killing people, you have an endless budget. But when it comes to actually helping people, oh no, we can't do that. That's a problem. Siraj Hashemi here tweeting out, this is hilarious. This is Trump airstrike. This is Biden airstrike. You see there, he, him, hashtag BLM, build back better. Yeah, the exact same thing, just under a different name. And Spencer Ackerman here tweeting out, when you want a livable minimum wage. Best I can do is bomb Syria. This really shows you the priorities of this administration. I just did a story on how they are not fighting to push for the $15 minimum wage, even though they have the power to. They are not pushing to get that into the COVID relief bill. Meanwhile, here they are wasting resources, spending time on more bombings.